Now on Talking Solutions, something I look forward to every single year as we get on toward the holidays. From the Salvation Army of Southern Nevada, I want to welcome Phillip Hollon, Director of Social Services.
Thank you, Terry. Pleasure to be here this morning.
Before the holidays really kick in every year, we always need to get our friends from the Salvation Army to come visit so we can find out how we can help you this holiday season.
We love the opportunity to be able to get out and share all the great things that are going on at the Salvation Army and how they can help us make them successful.
And you know how the holidays work. They're going to go by really fast, and we got a lot of stuff we got to take care of.
It's hard to believe we're already talking about turkeys and Christmas and everything.
Yes. This is the show that runs right before Thanksgiving, where we start going, okay, here's what we got coming up at the holidays. And first with me, it's the Salvation Army.
Thank you, Terry. This is great.
We love you guys. You make such a difference in our community. Phillip, I know here in town, the Red Kettle campaign has already started. Did that happen like it did last year at the Thomas and Mack?
It did. It was at the Thomas and Mack on Veterans Day. We kicked off our Red Kettle campaign. Our goal this year is $632,000 to help us support our programs and services throughout the year.
That's a big chunk of change.
It's a very good goal for us. We really feel the community will step up and help us to reach that goal as it supports, like I said, our programs and services throughout the course of the year. We'll be out at 175 sites really trying to raise money and ring those bells.
I can't wait. When I see a red kettle and when I hear that bell, I can't help but stop. Somebody's standing out there trying to raise funds for a very good cause. I can't ignore them. I've got to put money in it, and if they're still ringing it on the way out of the store, I need to hit them again.
That's great, and that's what we really want to encourage when they see those red kettles, to know that people out there are volunteers. They're helping the Salvation Army by ringing those kettle bells, helping us to raise funds, and just in 1 hour alone, we can raise enough money to feed a family for a week. That's why it's important that people contribute and be able to get out there and help us volunteer.
That's an important point, Phillip. If I don't have the actual funds, the money to put in the kettle, I can step up and volunteer and make a huge difference.
Absolutely. 1 hour of your time will feed a family for a week. That's the amount of contribution that you'll be making by helping us ring those bells.
It's cute, too, when parents take the kids out, teaching their youngsters how important it is to give back to our community.
It's wonderful when the family brings the kids out and they make it a family event. I mean, just to be able to stand around, ring the bell, let the kids ring the bell, sing Christmas carols. I mean, that's another popular thing that we really want to see out there. People having fun, the excitement, just the energy is so powerful to be able to see those contributions coming in and helping make a difference in the lives of those in our Southern Nevada community.
The holiday spirit this year, after we went through a rough political campaign and everything was so negative, this is so positive.
I just keep thinking, ho, ho, ho. I'm excited. This is great.
Now, Phillip, you mentioned the Red Kettle campaign has already kicked off Veterans Day at UNLV.
UNLV has been fantastic as a partner for us. I mean, this is our second year really being out at UNLV to kick off our campaign. And when we do it, we've got, the band out there playing, and we've got a number of volunteers out there just sharing information. And this year we're really dedicating our campaign and really working hard to educate the community about our veteran services that we have at the Salvation Army.
And it was Veterans Day.
Absolutely.
How perfect is that? It's important to mention that the Red Kettle campaign for Salvation Army of Southern Nevada, this year's goal is $632,000. That's a lot of money, but it's for a lot of great services. And we need to remember it's going to go by really fast. So we only have a few weeks to take care of this need for our community.
That's right. We're raising these funds to last us the entire year. So that's why it's so very, very important to be able to help either ring the bell or toss in some change or some dollars.
You'll also see on the football game, I know this is a habit at our house, on Thursday, I believe it's the game that has the Cowboys in Dallas where they do the big national rollout. That's where they kick off the Red Kettle campaign for the whole country. So you're going to hear about it more as we hit the actual holiday on Thursday. But is that also when the kettles will appear at the, did you say 175 locations throughout Southern Nevada?
Absolutely. They're actually going out as we speak, and so kettles will start ringing very soon.
And we need your help. So if you want to put the money in, great. Every year there's some kind of story somewhere in this country where a person has dropped a diamond ring in the kettle or a gold coin, things like that. Somebody comes up and just quietly puts something really special in the kettle. And it makes the news, so we get to talk about it some more, which I always love.
It's great. I mean, the officers that are working with the kettle campaign, they start off very early in the morning to get the kettles out, and it's a long day for them. Each and every day is a long day. And when they get back and they're counting the kettles and taking a look at the money, when they open up the kettles and see a very special gift or token inside there of appreciation, that is so extra special, just energizes them even more for the next day.
Oh, the smiles would be really big when you find something like that in your kettle. Phillip, for the $632,000 goal that we're talking about for this year's Red Kettle campaign for the Salvation Army of Southern Nevada, I think think it's always good to point out how many different services are provided by the Salvation Army. They provide shelter, all kinds of meals. Salvation Army is serving meals to hungry people every day of the year. This is not just a holiday thing.
Each and every day, we're serving meals 365 days a year. And we have what we call our community meal, which is from 1:30 to 2:30 each and every day. We serve anywhere between a couple hundred to 1,000 men, women, and children through this meal service. And it's available to anyone who walks in the door. No questions asked. Just to come in. If you're hungry, we want to be able to provide you a hearty, healthy meal.
That's offered on a daily basis. And for all these meals that the Salvation Army is able to put out there, you need volunteers to help serve.
Absolutely. Volunteers are critical, really, to support our meal services. And so we really ask that we get people to come by. And sometimes people think of us just on Thanksgiving Day and Christmas Day, but we do serve the meal 365 days a year. So if you've got a little extra time to come out, we generally ask for about 2 hours of your time from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. any day of the week. Come on out, help us serve the meal. Bring the family, bring your work group, bring everyone down. We're looking for at least 10 to 12 volunteers on any given day. If you have more, we welcome the people to come down and change the lives of the men, women, and children that are eating the meal. Be able to make them know that people care about them and they're out there. That smile that's on your face will pass along to those that come in the meal and change their day, change their whole perspective. They know people care and they are there, and it's just a wonderful, wonderful feeling when you go home at night, you close your eyes, and you know that you have changed the life of someone today.
That is a lofty goal, but it's actually easy to achieve.
Absolutely. Just 2 hours of your time any given day. Again, that's 365 days, 1 p.m. to 3 p.m.
Phillip Hollon is the Director of Social Services for the Salvation Army of Southern Nevada. We're talking about the Red Kettle campaign. This is the season where you raise money for the whole year. The amount that you're looking for, it's a large amount, but it's not unmanageable. In past years, when I've talked with Major Kelly Ponsler, she knows it's a big goal, but she also knows that the community has your back for the Salvation Army and that we will come together and get this money so that these much needed services are provided.
It is a very aggressive goal, but we're very excited about meeting that goal and being able to do great things. The Salvation Army uses all these funds year-round to promote so many different programs. Our lead dining facility to provide the community meal, family services to provide food for those that are struggling to put food on their table, that are trying to make the decision between do I pay my car payment, do I pay my rent, or what they can do. And so they choose to keep the car payment, and we help them with the food. And so it's a win-win because the Salvation Army is there to help them put that food on their table, particularly during the holidays and all year round.
We've actually just scratched the surface of the services that are provided by the Salvation Army. You've got a lot of other things that you also provide, including addiction recovery programs, which are supported by thrift stores we've got around town for the Salvation Army. Also rescuing people from human trafficking, a tremendous amount of services, helping people when they can barely pay the rent and they don't have money for anything else, providing them with food, the group meals, shelter that you give on a nightly basis.
We just ended a campaign for the month of October, our Homeless Media Outdoor campaign. We put billboards all around the city within a radius of the Salvation Army shelter there, just saying if you need a place to sleep, visit the Salvation Army. We put signs on the trash cans downtown that said if you're hungry, visit the Salvation Army. We're trying to educate the community on locations where they can receive services because the Salvation Army is providing basic needs. We're helping people find a place to stay at night safely and securely so they can close both of their eyes at night and not have to fear that someone will come up behind them. Right now, we're accommodating about 105 men and women each and every night. We've got capacity for overflow to accommodate another 105. We have 105 that are in our hostel every night. We've got 150 that are in our work program, our veteran services program, and then we have 59 more that are actually in our lead bridge units. It's a gap housing project. So there's lots of people that are coming to the Salvation Army for services, for help. They really had nothing when they walked in the door, and they're working towards self-sufficiency through all of the contributions that come in to help support the Salvation Army.
Turning their lives around. You mentioned, Philip, the Veteran Services Program. We are blessed to have a lot of veterans who live here in Southern Nevada. What sort of special programs does the Salvation Army have for veterans?
Salvation Army is so delighted to be working with Veteran Affairs here in Las Vegas. And so what we've been able to do is we've got a program, it's really an outreach program where we go out on the streets and we look for veterans that are out on the streets. And Nevada is very fortunate to be able to be what we call functional zero, which means that for the most part, every homeless veteran that's on the street that's looking for housing resources has the ability to come to us and we can get them into housing. We've got a floor just dedicated strictly to veterans. And so that floor fills up, and so we'll use overflow capacities at other buildings. But just last week, we welcomed Home Depot out, and they brought out more than 100 employees, staff, family, and friends, and they're working on a renovation project for one of our buildings to accommodate 42 more veterans.
Yes.
I mean, it's fantastic. It was a great Team Depot project that's going to cost probably close to $100,000 upon completion.
You're doing a lot.
It's great. The veterans are so important. They've given their lives to our country, and they've been out there, and so we want to make sure that they've got a place to stay. And as we go out there, when we get them off the streets, bring them back, we can shelter shelter them, provide them the meals, help them get back on their feet, get the services they need to be self-sufficient.
Phillip Hollon is with us from the Salvation Army for, you said, 3 years?
3 years.
I have seen this slow improvement in our economy for Southern Nevada. We had such a downturn, and coming out of it so slowly, we were hit so hard. I'm starting to see a lot of things that look very positive. Are you also seeing those sort of signs?
It's tremendous, the signs that we're seeing. I get to meet individuals as they're walking the door, homeless and hungry. They really have nothing, they're just walking the streets. And now it's an opportunity for us to meet with them, talk with them, assess their skills, help them to be able to figure out a path. And I've seen those graduates now that have gone through that path and they've graduated. They've got culinary arts degrees. They've got HVAC degrees. They've got all these skills that now they can transfer out into employment opportunities. And I'm watching them graduate. I'm watching them succeed. And I'm watching them buy homes. I mean, they're actually saving enough money to be able to put a down payment on a home, buy cars. It's so touching to see these men, these women come with literally nothing and stick to the program and stick with us at the Salvation Army and see them graduate and then put a down payment on a house. I mean, we just had someone do that on October 1st. How wonderful is that?
Talk about changing lives with the Salvation Army. As part of Talking Solutions, Phillip, we always ask, what can we do to help you? I know we've talked about volunteering, lots of different opportunities. If you want to do something and help out the Salvation Army, I would imagine you guys will find a place to put them.
Absolutely. There's so many wonderful volunteer opportunities out there. The Salvation Army has opportunities, again, like we talked about, for the meal services to come out from 1 to 3 p.m. We've got volunteer opportunities to help us with Christmas toys. We've got our annual Christmas event, distribution event coming up at Cashman Center on the 14th, 15th of December. We'll be decorating Cashman Center, spending 2 days to transform Cashman Center into a winter wonderland. And on the 16th and 17th of December, 1,000 families will be invited, an opportunity for parents to come out and pick up toys for their kids. So we need little elves that kind of walk around Cashman and help us to provide those toys to the families. We need the elves to help us decorate Cashman Center. There's a lot of activity going on from December 14, 15, 16, and 17, and volunteers are greatly needed.
I know how you get the toys to give away here at Beasley Media Group. We are so proud to participate in the Angel Tree program. Can you tell us about that?
Yes, we are giving out angel tags to the community, to businesses, and just anyone that's looking to be able to share the spirit and provide Christmas toys to us. And so we'll give you tags, and they will identify individuals that are looking for toys. We'll give you examples of like Tom, who might be an 8-year-old boy, and some ideas of what you might want to get Tom. We've got all kinds of ideas to help generate toys. We need those toys for our distribution on December 16th and 17th. Each child that visits us will be receiving 2 toys, age appropriate, and they'll also be receiving a $20 gift card to Smith's to be able to purchase food items for the holidays.
The way that we do Angel Tree 2, we'll have it here at Beasley Media Group. We've already got the tags. We just need the tree to go up after Thanksgiving next week. And so the tags will go up on the tree. We'll all pull one of those and then go out and select something that fits that child. I think that this year's, I need to go look at the actual tags to be sure, but I believe we got a few older kids because so many people go, oh, I want to buy the toys for the little kids. All of these kids deserve to have a Christmas. By the way, if you happen to stop by the station, you are welcome to also participate. Come on in the lobby, pull one of those tags and go get the stuff and come back. You don't even have to wrap the gifts.
Right.
It's important to have them as you would buy them at the store, because when they get sat out at Cashman Center, that's when the parents get to come in with their little elf volunteer and go shop for their child. Whoever the guardian is who brings the children in, they know better than anyone else what kind of toys that child is going to want.
Those 2 days, the 16th and 17th of December, are so very special because you've seen men and women, parents that are out there that have written to the Salvation Army just saying that they're struggling and that they're trying to put 2 and 2 together to make it work for their household. And then they ask about toys and they indicate that they're struggling to make that car payment or whatever, and they just don't have any money left over to buy toys. And they're desperate. So we let them know how to register and come down, and then they are out there on the 16th and 17th, and they're picking up the toys, and you can see the tears in their eyes and the joy that they are able to actually have a toy or a present and gifts to put under the tree for their kids so that they don't have to be asked, Mommy, Daddy, how come I didn't get anything? In this way, they are just whole like every other household out there. And it's so very, very special to see those parents. We know what the kids are going to be like. I mean, to see the bikes, to see the toys, but the tears of joy, when you go home at night, you cry because it's so emotional to be able to see the parents on this day.
Well, imagine how painful it would be as a parent to realize that you can't give your child a Christmas?
It's so hard for these parents that are trying to do everything right to be able to make sure they've got the transportation to get to and from work, to be able to keep the lights on, to be able to pay their rent, all of these things. And then, like I mentioned earlier, we're trying to help them with the food, to be able to put food on the table, but there's so many different expenses out there. So the parents just are so happy to know that the Salvation Army is able to help them with toys, so they have something to put under their tree and to make it extra special for the holidays for their children.
And we can make a difference. We can help make a Christmas for a lot of people here in Southern Nevada. Families, kids, their parents, things that they need that they could not otherwise afford can be given to them with help from our friends at the Salvation Army.
Yes, I mean, our toughest age group to collect toys for is 9 to 11, and that's in both boys and girls. So if you've got some 9 and 11-year-old children and you know what they like, and go on and collect some of those toys out at the stores and be able to bring those down and help us out with that particular age group.
I'm thinking that's some of the tags that we've got downstairs ready to go on our Beasley Media Christmas tree next week. Since I don't have any kids that age in my household, I'll be doing a Google search.
There we go.
Toys for kids 9 to 11.
I want to see Beasley put up multiple trees because there's so many toys coming in that they just can't all fit around one tree.
I would love that. The Red Kettle campaign already has kicked off here in Southern Nevada. Nationally, you'll see all the big to-do, the hubbub, during the halftime of the Cowboys football game on Thanksgiving, because traditionally, that's how they do it every year. But you're going to see the Salvation Army's Red Kettles in 175 different locations all throughout Southern Nevada, working together to raise the amount that they need. This year, $632,000 is the goal. We can do this, but it's important that all of us make a point when we hear the bell ringing, go up and greet that person who is volunteering, put something in the kettle. Do it like I do, as you're going in and coming out both ways. Doesn't have to be a lot. It does make a difference.
Every little bit helps. All of it goes together into one big pool, and $1 here, $1 there, $5 here, $10 there. All of it gets lumped together, and it changes lives. It literally changes lives through the programs and services that the Salvation Army is able to provide in Southern Nevada.
Phillip Hollon is the Director of Social Services for the Salvation Army of Southern Nevada. Phillip, if somebody needs your help, or if somebody can help, would they all be able to call the main number?
Absolutely. 702-870-4430. Or they can also go on our website at www.salvationarmysouthernevada.org. There's links there that they can click to get involved with the Christmas holidays. They can get involved with volunteering. It will list all kinds of volunteer opportunities, from Red Kettles, ringing the bells, to working in the dining room, to helping us sort toys, to being a volunteer and helping us in our computer labs, maintenance duties around the property. Anything that you can think of, we're going to have something for you to do with the Salvation Army.
The holiday season is giving, and what better organization than the Salvation Army of Southern Nevada? They are helping our friends and neighbors. People that you don't even know within your neighborhood could be receiving services from the Salvation Army. You guys don't judge. You have open arms for everyone, and if they need help, you're there. But in order for you to do what you do, we have to make sure that you have the funds through the Red Kettle campaign to take care of all of that. And the number this year is a big one, but it's achievable, $632,000. If you need the services of the Salvation Army, if you can help, the phone number is 702-870-4430. And the website?
SalvationArmySouthernNevada.org.
Phillip, is there anything that I'm forgetting?
No, I just wanted to thank Las Vegas, the Southern Nevada, Clark County, everyone has just been tremendous in the support. The residents that here, the community here has been fabulous, and they have just done so much to help us over the years. And we know that they'll be there once again this year to help us out through our Red Kettle campaign, to be there to volunteer. We just want to make sure that everyone knows that certainly every day of the year, 365 days, there's a need out there. And if you've got a couple extra hours, if you've got your kids that can come down and serve a meal, or to help us clean a room, mop the floors, do something along those lines to help change the lives of the men, women, and children that visit us each and every day. More than 1,000 people are coming through our doors each and every day for services. Please give us a call, visit our website, click on that link, and make a difference in your community.
Ring a bell.
Ringing a bell. 'Tis the season. Ho, ho, ho.
Be a Christmas angel. Do one of the angel tags. Get some toys for kids who wouldn't otherwise have a Christmas. You can make a big difference.
Remember, 1 hour of bell ringing will feed a family for a week. That's a huge impact that you will make by ringing those bells.
Around the Christmas table, you can sit and tell your family, the people from out of town especially. Guess what we did this year? We went out and rang a bell for the Salvation Army, and it was so much fun.
Think about telling that story at the dinner table when you're there, on Christmas Day, and what you give thanks for. And one of the things you give thanks to is the fact that you went out and you were able to ring a bell and feed a family and be able to change the lives of those that are struggling in our community. They just need a little assistance to get back on their feet again, and they need to know the community loves them and embraces them and is there to support them and help them overcome the obstacles and challenges they're facing.
And it's much more than you volunteering 2 hours of your time for something like that. It's all of the positive splashback that you get. It's the afterglow where you say, that was really great. I'm really glad that I did that. I'm really glad that I helped.
I see the kids that come into the dining room or the kids that come to the campus and they have little piggy banks and they've gone out and they've heard, the radio messages and they've heard about it. We had a 7-year-old last year that came down on Thanksgiving Day and wanted to be able to provide her portion towards the Red Kettle campaign. And she brought her piggy bank in and cracked it open and gave us $107. She had gone out door to door just soliciting donations and wanted to make a difference as a 7-year-old. I mean, that was incredible.
We're raising some really special kids these days, aren't we?
The kids are fantastic. They're really getting involved. They're coming out. They are giving back, and that's so important to be giving back at the age of 7 years old. And we've seen them even younger, but to see them grow up, and I've had one young woman that I was able to work with at the age of 9, and now 10 years later, she's still working with me. She's at UNLV now, studying to be a social worker there, but it's for 10 years. But I started working with her at the age of 9 when she was in the Girl Scouts of Brownies, and she went out and did a campaign for socks. She collected socks for the homeless. And then the following year, she decided to do a campaign called Pasta for Poverty, and she collected a ton of pasta and sauce. So these kids are coming up and growing up and giving back and doing tremendous fundraising efforts to change the lives of men, women, and children in our community.
Makes you feel good about Southern Nevada now, doesn't it?
It does.
It's a great time of the year. It's the holiday season. It's going to be here before you know it. Thursday is Thanksgiving. You're going to see the Kettles out. 175 locations throughout Southern Nevada. We are looking for the Red Kettle campaign goal, $632,000 for all of us here in Southern Nevada. We need to kick in and make sure that you have the funds so that the Salvation Army of Southern Nevada can do the amazing work that you do every day of the year. You're here to help people in our area.
It's great when we see men and women coming through the doors, again, that really don't have much, and so they are struggling, and they come in into our homeless services department, and they help us to understand what they've been going through in life, and then we try to put them on the right path and assess their skills, working to determine what they would be good at. And so we find some that are very good with culinary arts, and we will work with them and send them to the College of Southern Nevada. They will take a very intense course there, and it's a 10-week course. They spend about 500 hours learning all about culinary arts. They graduate from there, and they can get some great paying jobs in the service industry here in the Las Vegas area, in some of the hotels downtown. But to see them go through again with nothing, they are determined to graduate. And then we just had a graduation class on November 2nd. 14 people, 14 men and women in our community that had nothing when they walked in the door, graduated with degrees, and 94% of them, they already have a job immediately upon graduation. That's huge to know that they're now making some really good wages and getting their lives back together again.
See what you can help with your donations to the Red Kettles all around Southern Nevada. You can make that kind of difference in somebody's life. You can make a holiday for kids who wouldn't otherwise have it. You can put meals on the table for a family who couldn't otherwise afford it. There are so many ways that your donations help the Salvation Army. Doing the most good?
Doing the most good. I mean, that is what we do each and every day. We've got about 20 different programs and services that are out there at the Salvation Army. The staff is just incredible in terms of just being out there. The Salvation Army is very dedicated and committed to serving Southern Nevada, doing everything we can, doing the most good 24/7.
We're going to make sure that all the links, all the information, the phone numbers, the websites, and the podcast of our discussion today are available on our Talking Solutions Facebook page.
It's important also that one of the things for the Salvation Army is over the past couple of years, we've really been focusing on expect change. As you're tossing those coins into the kettle or those dollars to the kettle, it's about expecting change, knowing that your donations are changing the lives of the men, women, and children in our community. For the Salvation Army, it's not about a transaction. It's not just putting money in the kettle and going through motions and things like that. It's about the transformation. It's about changing lives. And that's what each and every penny, nickel, quarter, dollar, $5, $100, every little bit in those kettles goes together to change lives.
Your donation seems to have a lot of power behind it now, doesn't it? That's wonderful. Philip, I love the stories that you tell, all of the good things that the Salvation Army does for us here in Southern Nevada. Phillip Hollon, Director of Social Services for the Salvation Army of Southern Nevada. Thank you so much for coming in to join us on Talking Solutions.
Thank you, Terry.